Now, I'm just wondering about all this stuff here. Tom Lightning is in the freaking chat before I even start. How does that happen? Hey, Tom, thank you. Best of luck. Sure. Thanks. So, yeah, lots of activity last night, let me tell you. We had Father Saunders doing a live stream. We had that other guy, Island Hermit. Oh, how's your morning going? Yes, no coffee yet. Cubing Speed, hello. Good morning. I need to crawl over to the... did I say crawl? I need to find myself. Mohamed El Sayed, hello. Ramadan is on right now. And Mohamed has to wait until 3:10. When can you break the fast, Mohamed? Let's see. You're in Egypt, so let's see. That's what about 8-9 hours ahead. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit, but hang in there, brother. Do it for Allah. This is time of the year. You sacrifice for your faith. Good luck with that. Although I think it would suck to 6:20 p.m. Okay. All right. Well, you got Jesus. What it's 6:20. Okay. Ballistic Zero. Hello. Gutenberg Morgen. Yeah. All right, let me play this thing. I'm going to get some beer. This is the New Culture Forum, if you guys are not familiar. And I love this music at the beginning, so go ahead.
Hello and welcome to So What You're Saying Is, I'm Peter Whittle. Now, men, if you're thinking of getting married, don't. That is the message of a new campaign.
Excuse me.
One of the best
my name is Peter Whittle.
known campaign groups in the UK. That's Fathers
British.
for Justice.
Yes, indeed. Now, there is other political parties that are trying to do some more stuff for men's rights. One would be Justice for Men and Boys and the Women Who Love Them, Mike Buchanan and Elizabeth Hobson in England. So that's another option for guys. What are you having for breakfast, hamster? Beer.
New campaign that started this week. And
now, here's the background of this. I didn't know this whole thing in England, that there was not no-fault divorce. Did you guys know that? I mean, here in the United States, America, we've had this kind of nonsense for decades, literally, since in the 70s somewhere. And evidently in England, that wasn't the case until now. Now they're going to change the laws to make it even easier to get divorced for the women. Cash prizes and Tyrone.
Founder of Fathers
and the children.
Justice, Matt O'Connor, is
now. Excuse me. I love that picture back there. That's cool. You see anything interesting about the perspective of this camera here? Peter Whittle over here. Over here. Excuse me, Peter Whittle over here. Looks like a child compared to this guy. Look at this dude. He's at least the way the camera's showing it. Anyway,
today I'm very pleased to say thanks very much for coming.
Peter, thanks for having me.
No, it's
got to adjust my thing.
That's a bit of a bold statement, isn't it? It's a trap, isn't that what this is? This is the basis of your new.
It's not bold at all.
Isn't it?
It's reality.
What we're saying under new no-fault divorce laws.
Excuse me, Peter. No, it's bullshit. No, it's not a bold statement. It's not crazy. It's reality. Now, To give just a quick example, let's say that you get married and your wife decides, she wants some hot beef injection from somewhere else. She wants to get shagged in English talk from another dude. Well, you're likely not going to be happy about that. Being a man and all, and you're married to this woman, you probably don't like that at all. Doesn't matter what you like, because she can go do that and then file for divorce and get half your shit, alimony, child support, get the kids, custody, etc., and so on. So no-fault divorce is a really good thing for the women. Excuse me, hamster. Well, what if the man does that? What if he decides to go out and bump uglies with some rando somewhere? She can do the same thing. Doesn't matter. Do you see the point? That's what no-fault divorce means. There's no fault, there's no blame, there's no acrimony, but there's plenty of alimony, because God damn it. And guess who gets to pay that? 99.999% of the time. He does. Well, what do you mean? What about Adele? Why do you think you know about Adele having to pay her exie some money? Because it's so fucking rare that it's a news story. People. See, women don't understand. They don't get it. Girls, nothing against you girls. Love you women. You fine. But you have so much power with respect to the marriage thing. He can do nothing and lose half his shit. You can do anything and still get half his shit. And the children. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Which come in very shortly, we're saying that marriage should come with a public health warning for men. And our position is marriage is a trap. It's a man.
That's beautiful. It should come with a public health warning for men.
And trap. Because the outcomes for men who are divorced are pretty apocalyptic in terms.
Okay, that's a nice way to put it. Pretty fucked is what I can say here. You're, in good company there with Mr. Whittle or Sir Whittle. He might be a Sir Peter. It's fucked up. That's what's going on. It's very, very fucked up. And it's the hardest on the children. Let's be honest here. You got a couple of kids, you rip the family apart. Dad comes in on the weekend once in a while. Or, well, I was going to say, well, or mom comes in. But it almost never works that way, though. Isn't that interesting? Child custody, what is it? 90%, 95% go to the female. Interesting. And so these little kids, it's like, I want to see my daddy. Shut up. Here's your juice box. Watch fucking TV. I'm going to blast Tyrone in the background. God damn kids. Well, we should probably talk about that too. Go on, sir.
If they lose their houses, they lose their homes, they lose access to their children.
But they shan't have them because of evil man privilege,
And under new no-fault divorce laws, all the sexist notions of divorce remain. The idea that we pay spousal maintenance to women, the idea that children live with their mother and don't see their dad or have limited access to their dad.
Yeah.
So,
it's always been an interesting topic, I think. If, for example, this evil man, he's making all this money, so he has to transfer wealth over to her so she can raise the kids. If he has all this money, why don't the kids go with him? After all, it's all about the children. So, wouldn't the children be better off in a household with plenty of cash? In general? No. You got to take that cash and send it to the single mom who probably fucked Tyrone. Yeah, that makes complete sense. I thought it was for the children. What's better for the children? It's for the children. Really? Well, then why don't you let the kids live with dad since he's got all that money? No. See, they use these terms, as you guys know. Oh, it's all about the children. It's the best thing for the children. Well, if the best thing is for the children, why don't they stay with dad? And the fembots would agree. Oh my God, it's patriarchal oppression to assume that she should get the kids. She shouldn't do that. Then why do they? 90% of the time. Just wondering.
All the sexist, misandrous notions of divorce remain the same. But what's going to happen under the new no-fault divorce laws?
Excuse me. Did you say misandrist? Oh my God.
As I say, men will lose their houses, kids, and relationships with the.
Oh, that's right. See, men don't get custody of the kids because they're fucking homeless and living in a refrigerator box. Because she took the house and all the money, or most of it.
Wives quicker, and I think the outcome of that is going to be, I'd say, pretty dreadful for a lot of men. Who,
I mean, this guy's hair is interesting, though. Don't you agree? Yeah, that's an interesting do, bro.
Go into marriage with good intentions.
What can you explain this? Because I didn't know about this actually, Matt. Before we decided to meet today. What is you say no fault divorce?
See, that's the problem, Sir Peter. A lot of men who've never been through this shit have no idea. And why would you? Why would, if you're not getting a divorce, you wouldn't know. More and more people should be paying attention, men in particular, but we don't. It's like, it's just a bunch of goddamn whining fucking incels. Bunch of undead chronic pole smokers, etc. No, this is real. Just because it doesn't happen to you doesn't mean it's not a bad thing. Do you see? Yes.
What was the position before and what is changing then?
Nothing really. Nothing. Only it's getting worse.
Well, the position beforehand was that you could contest a divorce. You had to allow 2 years to pass from separation before you be given permission to divorce.
Oh, you mean you had to have a reason? Not anymore, bro.
So there was this contested, what the solicitor government would say, this kind of blame game issue that went on. But you've still got the finances, which are separate, and you've still got children's issues. So what's been happening is a lot of men were quite keen to get divorced, but what they did
really, that's not my experience. I mean, if you put all this effort into getting married, I'm not sure I'd want to get a divorce. Seems like 70 or 80% of divorces are initiated by the female. So it seems, sir, most likely women are keen to get a divorce. Just saying.
Didn't realize when they got divorced, they still had no access to the children.
That is correct. Yes, indeed. And what is England going to do? They're going to make it even fucking worse for men. Isn't that nice?
So child arrangements were entirely separate to divorce. Under the new laws, you can't defend a divorce.
That's right. No fault divorce. Nobody is to blame. See, here's the problem. Hamster, dear God, do you know how hard it was to get divorced before? Somebody had to say, in court, they were pointing fingers and making shit up. Really? Is that what happened? Really? Mm-hmm. And so thus, let's destroy the culture. Because some women somewhere accused men of something. Let's just make it easy so there's no acrimony. Yeah.
So that's the first.
Just alimony.
The second thing is it just speeds up the process now. So they've changed the language of divorce.
Yep.
So before you had a decree nisi and a decree absolute, you've now got final orders, etc. They simplified the language. But the problem's going to be that you know, if you're a man, let's say you're going to get divorced quicker, faster, you're going to lose your kids, your cash, and your house quicker.
That's right. How'd you guys in England let this fucking happen? Now, I know you look upon us Americans, oh, those colonies over there are a bunch of rubes, a bunch of fucking hicks. We've had this shit for 50 fucking years. You didn't learn anything? You didn't look to the old colonies and say, excuse me, that's kind of fucked up. No, you didn't. And here you go.
Than ever. And you're going to end up with a problem being displaced into the family justice system, which is not fit for purpose. It's broken. They're literally digging family court judges up out of the graveyard at the moment because the system is so overwhelmed by cases.
But even under no-fault divorce, the man still got fucked, didn't he? Still got his kids taken away from him. He was a visitor, not a father. And she got cash and prizes. And the children. Interesting.
So I think this is the issue. What we want is divorce equality for men. We want proper, genuine reform to make sure that we remove the idea of spousal maintenance, the idea that women rely on a man. I mean,
I thought that was so sexist. Isn't that what the fembots tell us? Oh, no, I'm strong and independent. You go, girl, fishes, bicycles, blah, blah, fucking blah. We all know that's bullshit, don't we? Without the big daddy government giving out checks to the women's, this shit wouldn't happen. Single mothers, we would have none of that if there wasn't a source of income. But what do I know? I'm drinking beer on Sunday morning.
Really? In the 21st century, if you go to Sweden, they've abolished spousal maintenance. You have to stand on your own 2 feet.
That's such.
Excuse me, what? Sweden did that? Fuck. I mean, you know the Swedes have got to be sick of this bullshit. If they got rid of this stuff, good mother. Good morning. Hi. You never heard that song, Lay Down Sally? Good to see you. SCE, hello. Acrimony and matrimony, testimony, alimony. That's right, SCE. Yeah, good morning. Hi. Bridges Don't Fly is here with his 12-pack of beer. Always. Let's go on. Let's see what the hell these guys in the English are going to have to put up with shortly.
Actually quite interesting about Sweden, because Sweden's kind of always perceived as being kind of lefty.
Yes, feminist and everything. Yes, in Sweden. They used to make good cars at some point.
You'd think that they wouldn't.
Till GM bought them. What did you say? I didn't say a thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what they say that, but they do, don't they?
They do, and it's progressive in many areas in terms of their even.
Yeah, they're progressive in their areas.
Maternity care. You know,
see, if there wasn't a big, generous welfare state where you can pop out a kid and get free cash and prizes from the government, this wouldn't be happening. 70% of black kids born out of wedlock. Average of 40%. 40%. People, think about it just for a minute. 40% of children in America are born out of wedlock. Interesting. Now, I wonder how much that would be if we didn't give money to women who had kids out of wedlock. Wonder. Just curious.
The idea that dads have to be.
I can tell you, before 1960-ish, something like 5 to 7%. Yeah.
be involved in the raising of their children. So they are far more progressive than the kind of prehistoric Stone Age family justice system we've got. You know, the idea that men really, we are being reduced to a nation of sperm banks and cash points who.
I think I need to make a meme out. Did you hear that?
And really, we are being reduced to a nation of sperm banks and cash points who.
One more time.
Men, really, we are being reduced to a nation of sperm banks and cash points who.
Walking ATMs. Tax mules. Hello. Are you a man? Yes. You have no rights. Fuck you. You get nothing. You want to see your kids? Tough shit. Because you're evil.
Who have to pay for children we cannot see. And we need divorce equality for men. We need parental equality for men.
Excuse me. How about reproductive rights for men? No. Is this a bridge too far? Is it? Yeah.
Because I think in this age, I don't want to see women chained to the sink. I don't want to see women said, you have to be the mother, you have to stay at home.
Yeah. Now he's using the feminist talking points here, which is wise. No one wants to see women chained to the sink. No one wants to make me a sandwich and get me a beer and blow my smoke hole. Blow my smoke hole? What the hell was that? Oh, God. Okay.
You know, I want women to be freed from.
Yeah. Free from the oppression of raising their children. So if the man in this situation is making all this money, after all, he's a privileged, evil man, why doesn't he get custody of the children? Because it's all about the children, right? Yet, that is not what happens. That's called a transfer of wealth.
To go out and
for votes.
Start businesses, become chief executive officers, to run the country, whatever it is. And the way of doing that, the way of facilitating that is to plug fathers back into families. And that's what we want to see.
Yeah. I mean, it's so quaint, really. No, it's so anachronistic. What do you mean? Fathers and families, come on. What do you say? Why do you want to oppress women? Why is that? It'd be triggering for them, wouldn't it? Oh my God, I have to see the kid's father once a month.
Do you think, I mean, it seemed to me that,
yes,
you know, regardless of your campaign.
I mean, he does wear nice suits, though. This is new culture for him. He does. I like that tie.
Is it a lot of...
Normally, I wouldn't go for like a dotted tie like that, but this, it's working. Yeah.
Younger men seem to have kind of implicit.
Oh, what are you, gay? Is that a hamster? No, I'm just. Oh, yeah, we know. We
got this message anyway. I
correct.
mean, would you say that that's the case, that they're not getting married?
Well,
yes. Oh God, I should have gotten more beer. Oh, it's 8:30. That means the beer store is open in less than 30 minutes. You need more beer, hamster? Yes, I do. So who's in the chat? Good Mother's here. I saw that. Oh, you spelled my name wrong. How could you? How could you do that? Oh my God. Al Diction says that tie. I don't know. I think the tie looks pretty good. And beer. BEER. Sunday morning breakfast with the hamster. We should probably make that a thing. I don't know.
Oh, up to over 50% now of today's 20-year-old millennials are not going to get married.
Up to 50%.
But I mean, look at the perspective here, though. And I hate bringing this up again, but look at this. This guy looks huge compared to Sir Peter over here. There's Henry VIII in the background, I guess, and Thomas Cromwell, probably. Guy looks big, like a monster compared to this guy over here.
Yeah,
will not get married.
will not get married. that's a figure that's going to go up and up and up.
Compared to, say, can you give us a comparison?
Well, I think previously it was in a sort of, there was about 60, 70%. There was a presumption that men would get married, and it's dropping off.
I'm sorry, sir. Lose the hamster hair there. I'm sorry. I mean, I hate to point out this kind of stuff, but that just does not look good. Just get rid of it. Just shave it off. You're a good looking dude. Nobody's gonna care if you don't have like a cat on your head. It's fine. Just go ahead and take the step there.
And drop it off. And that's partly just down to the natural reaction. I think as a gender, we recognize that marriage is a terrible contract.
Yes, it is. Yes. That's the thing about marriage. Some of you young guys are going, oh, I want to marry Janie. She loves me. Did you look into the details about all that? Oh, I don't care because she loves me. And that's how you fall into the trap. You don't look. You're not thinking ahead. And see, I'm a terrorist because I'm pointing it out. Maybe you should think about it more. No, you evil bastard. Okay.
The relationships have become more informal. Women are more predatory sexually.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear what he just said? Let's go back.
That relationships have become more informal. Women are more predatory sexually.
What did you say? I think it's worth another spin.
That relationships have become more informal. Women are more predatory sexually, because it used to be men who were predatory sexually. And I think
not really, no. But the part about the chicks, yeah.
Women are more predatory sexually.
Interesting.
Used to be men who were predatory sexually.
Nonsense. Bullshit. But okay, cathead.
And I think the dynamics of relationships and relationship breakdown, which is an unstoppable trend.
I'm saying just shave the fucking hair off. What the fuck is that? I don't know. Maybe I'm being shallow. Yes. It's bothering me a lot. Okay.
Mean that most people recognize that monogamy.
Not to say that what he's saying is not correct. It's just, what the fuck? Of course, hamster. Well, you're blessed with a lot of hair. Yeah, I know. The old man didn't actually lose his hair until he was about 87, so I have a few years. But yeah, okay.
Long-term relationships like marriage are pretty unrealistic. And our campaign really kind of feeds into that narrative that already exists. We're saying getting married is a terrible decision.
Yeah. Yes, it is for men. Mm-hmm.
We're conditioned to think.
I wonder, we got to have Good Mother on though. Should we do that now? I do have 3 beers. Good Mother, you have time? SC, what are you saying? Oh, come on. We all know that's not true. All right, I'll put the link in here. We'll see who comes in. Lord West, good morning. In England, we call the guy. Yeah, I mean, he might be gay. I don't care if he's gay, whatever. But the hair there, though, I don't know. Just shave it off, bro. Really. No one really cares if you have hair.
We fall in love. We get married, right? But as I said to the Archbishop of Canterbury once, when we stormed York Minster and had one of my bad day protests dressed as a priest and Operation Father Ted, I said, the Church of England sells this thing called marriage, and off you go driving down the road, and then the car breaks down. There's no roadside recovery. There's no after sales assistance. You're literally left at the side of the road. It's a
Indeed. It's almost reminded me of Donald Trump with his weave or whatever he had, the Como.
Terrible contract.
Oh God,
marriages. I found out recently that
I mean, again, I'm not subject to this. I have lots of hair, but I'm just wondering what I would do. It's like, fucking shave it off, be done with it, you know. Yeah.
even if you are dead, your ex-wife can still make a claim on your estate. So
That's eight. Yeah. In the U.S., in America, some states, it's a fucking cartel, is what it is. My friend Johnny, he didn't have to pay child support. You know why? Because the state of Wisconsin just took it out of his paycheck. How much you make? Well, I make $1 a year. Well, we're taking 17 cents of that, bitch. Then we're going to make you pay for us taking it out of your paycheck. What? The fuck is that?
So even when you're buried face down in the grave, you know, your ex can still come back after you. In fact, there was a very good case. I say very good case, very terrible case for a guy called Dale Vince, who runs a company called Ecotricity, and his wife came back. I think it was something like that, 15, 20 years after they divorced. There were no children involved.
And she wanted some cash. I remember this one.
He'd set up this amazing green electricity company, and she came back and cleaned him out for a further 10 million.
Yeah. How the fuck is that even possible? How does that work? I mean, you're separated, you're different people for years, decades, and she comes back and wants some cash, and the government gives it to her. What the fuck?
And that is the problem. We have sexist courts. We have Jurassic judges who think men need to pay for women. Right?
Well, they've been indoctrinated with bullshit. They haven't woken up. They haven't woke yet to the fact that women are strong, powerful. You go, girl. They should take care of their own shit. No. See, we, the fembots, love the patriarchy when it benefits us. Don't they? Don't they?
All right. Well, last time I checked, we're in the 21st century.
Yes, we are. Oddly, everything seems to be worse with respect to divorce. Why is that? Because the perceived benefits or actual benefits of the evil patriarchy are just fucking fine. If you benefit from it. See? Interesting.
Last time I checked, it's the age of, feminism. Last time I checked, women keep telling me they want to stand on their own 2 feet. Well,
that's right. Strong, powerful. You go, girl. Fishing bicycles. Blah, blah, blah. I don't need no man. Then why is there alimony? You don't need no man. Well, why is there alimony? Well, because he was abusive. He was evil. He was
We're standing on 2 feet. Get on with it. Let's start with marriage and let's have equal rights for men after marriage and give men parental equality to see their kids.
Yeah. Thing is, if you're a young man, and I know some people would disagree with me, if you're a young man, you're out of your fucking mind to get married, to sign the contract. Because that's what it is. It's a contract between you and she and the government. Are you fucking crazy? Why would you do that? Why would you sign a contract where you're guaranteed to lose with the full faith and credit of the United States government? Why would you do that? Well, she loves me and I can get some stinky tuna. You don't need to get married to get that, bro. Not today.
So, is it correct to say that what you would like to see is something more along the Swedish model?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
what is
oddly, yes. God bless Sweden.
the kind of political support you might have from whatever party for, or none?
So we're deeply unsexy and definitely
Oh, I don't know. I think you're kind of cute. Just lose the hair.
not flavour of the month. Listen, Ian Duncan Smith once said to me that, if he was to support Fathers for Justice or talk about men's issues or fathers' issues, it was political suicide.
Let me replay that. Bingo.
About men's issues or fathers' issues, it was political suicide.
Yes, it is. That's why even Donald Trump didn't say a fucking word, did he? Nothing. Zero. Nada. Now, if you got the rebel Trump out there not saying a goddamn thing about this bullshit, who is going to step up to the plate? Who's going to step up? Mitt Romney.
Suicide, he said to me, because all the men in Parliament all kowtow to the mum's net.
No shit. Wow. A revelation.
Okay. Yeah. Because the largest constituency of floating voters are single mothers. That's
yes, indeed it is.
The reality. Men are very tribal in their voting intentions. They don't tend to change, whereas women are kind of far more kind of liberal in that sense of chopping and changing. And
we could end the welfare state tomorrow with the stroke of a pen. No more welfare, unless you are so indigent, I suppose. If you're not able-bodied, you can't work, whatever. Hey, we'll take care of you. Not a problem. But this free money just for shitting out a kid? No. But the politicians won't touch it because it's fucking plutonium. I will end my career now as a politician. No, I think we should. There should be term limits, but that's another story.
And I think with the Conservatives particularly, after Back to Basics, I don't remember if you remember.
Yes, John
Major, and people have been banging their secretaries and up to all sorts of shenanigans.
And the secretaries are victims then, huh? If it wasn't consensual, there are laws against such things. So, seems like the secretaries want to fuck their bosses. I don't know. Call me crazy.
Or attacking the single mothers as it was perceived.
Attacking the single mothers. You could look at it that way, or you could say, hey, if you want to have a kid, a child all by yourself, then fucking deal with it. Pay for it yourself. No, that's evil.
After that, the hangover from that was we can't be seen to support dads because there's an implicit criticism then of single mothers. And I reject that entirely because, I know when I spoke to Nigel Farage a few years ago and he said to me, well, look, Matt, how much is shared parenting going to cost? And I said, how much is it going to save?
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about the government handing out checks to certain people to get their votes. You're one of them goddamn conspiracy. Frogs are gay, aren't you? Yeah.
How much if we get better, if we can take
whatever
90% of the cases out of the court system.
Oh, good mother. I'll send you some other song. God almighty. Excuse me. I sent it to FastAC as well. It's like 3 a.m. What the hell? Like bread, some of that. Oh God, the simpy. Oh God, just listen to bread. BREAD, bread. Put it in there. They had a lot of songs with respect to this. Oh God, you almost get diabetes. Listen to those songs. They're so ridiculous.
If we can improve the outcomes from our children, if we can improve the outcomes for mothers who can start their own businesses.
If we can improve the outcomes of children, if they stay with their fathers, so we should do. No. No, we can't have that. No, we can't.
Be successful entrepreneurs. If we can improve the outcomes for fathers, if we can improve the outcomes for grandparents who are providing childcare, reduce the burden on the taxpayer in terms of all those taxes we have to pay.
Excuse me. The idea, sir, is to get as many people reliant on the government for something. And then what we have then is built-in voters. Don't you know?
But with childcare costs, better outcomes for children, better outcomes for families, better outcomes for our country.
Nobody cares. All we care about is better outcomes for women. Do you know? Dante Sprarda. Hello. Why is it usually boomer and low testosterone, high estrogen men talking about him? I have no idea. It's a good point, though. I don't get it. I do not understand. Oh, there's new comments. All right. Hey, Unwanted Contriver is here. Hello. Thought you were going on a trip, sir. Well, be well. It is in India as well. As long as there's no law for adultery, there is no fault divorce technically in place in English common law. Yeah. TG Ontario, a new face in the chat. Better outcomes for politicians. Billy the Goat is backstage. Oh. You want to talk about it? Go ahead. Yes, go. Billy.
Yo, hamster.
Hey, what's up?
Well, you're covering British topics, so I thought I needed to chime in a little bit.
Well, we need some English people here. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, we're a sinking country. We all know that anyway. And the cuckoldry in the UK is getting worse and worse by the minute, it would seem. Not sure exactly what this video you're playing is about. It looks like it's not in favor of divorce. But I'll share some news from the UK. We're getting reports flooding in of single mothers, pity stories. They're having to cook their children's beans on toast with a candle.
Oh,
they're crying about how there's not enough food, so they're having to eat the leftovers of children.
Oh no!
And it's all single mothers. And about this, fundamentally because of the energy rise, prices and the energy rise crisis, or whatever that's going on.
Affects women mostly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no other demographic, it would appear.
Nah, not just women.
But it's news to me that the title of your stream is "No Fault Divorce." I haven't heard about that coming into the UK. What I have been hearing about is how the government are pushing domestic abuse, violence, and things like this. Save the women, save the girls. Nothing about men being domestically violated, violence towards them. So I don't know how that's supposed to work out, really. I mean, it's not exactly incentivizing men to want to get married.
Of course.
They're just blaming men. They're just blaming men more and more, saying it's men's fault and men need to be held accountable. And unfortunately, the majority of men are sucking it up. That's the thing.
Yep. That's because men have been programmed, brainwashed for decades about this.
Yeah.
The fembots wanted all their freedom and all their cock carousels, all this other bullshit. But men should do the same as they've always done. And if you don't, you're a misogynist bastard, Billy. Don't you know?
That's right. Yeah. I think it was only like last week I was called a misogynist. Speaking up about that sort of Leah Thompson situation, but I don't want to digress over to that sort of topic just yet. So they still feel like they can shame, blame, have a go at men with the expectation that men are still going to support them. It doesn't really make logical sense. But in their mind, it does,
For them, I'm sure it does. Makes perfect sense to the fembots. Yeah.
It's like, I hate you. Come here and defend me. It's like, screw you. Screw you. It's all your fault. Now give me your money. It's like, what? Go away.
Exactly. Why should I give you my money? I thought you were free and independent. No, I didn't mean that.
This is what the single mothers are now finding out, where it's like, who is there to support them with these. I mean, and this is only the start of the energy rise. It's only like 1st of April. The prices have gone up, and already the stories are coming in about the mothers. So poor life choices.
Yeah.
And they can thank feminism for that. You know, who sold you this idea that you don't need a man? It's okay because you've got government handouts. Well, where are your government handouts?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they're talking about in California, Billy, they're going to send checks to people because the gas is expensive. They're going to send, Jesus Christ. Of course, not men, though. We know that.
Yeah.
It'll just be for the girls because reasons. Because, oh my God, I need votes.
Yeah, we've got some schemes like that. I think they're actually aimed at the elderly population, like a sort of £500 grant or something like this. But it's too little and it's too strings attached. You know, it kind of sort of defeats the point. It's like how are there going to be bill expenditure increases if they're being subsidized with under the pretense of like a charitable, like we're helping you out welfare check.
Yeah,
it means that so money doesn't really matter. Then money doesn't really exist. It has no real value because you can just print off as much as you want to help people out.
Yeah, well, the fiat currency. Yeah, even the Queen's is just print it. Get out the printing machine and print some more pounds. I mean, can I? Jesus Christ, what is going on?
Yeah,
how did we let this get here, Billy? What do you think?
I don't know. But how do we get? Well, complacency, maybe. I don't know that there is a key one singular word that will kind of umbrella term the whole thing. Stupidity maybe might be the one.
Dick thinking is what I'm thinking. Men, our ancestors, my father, my grandfather, all voted for this shit.
Yeah. It's kind of like there's this unspoken. You can make posts and you can make like statements that sort of bring forward the argument that make something, you know, it's poignant and it should wake people up. But then it's like dead silence. You know, people are seeing it, but they're just so cowardly to want to say anything about it. They're just like tucking tail or something like that, or they're just sort of ducking their head and wishing it isn't true.
Yeah,
and I mean that's the sad part about it. It's like you got some men, some women as well, but lots of men, lots of critical thinkers. They can see something isn't right. They might not have the right exact information, but they know something isn't right. They're trying to voice their concerns, and then the sheeple just carry on doing what they're doing with fingers crossed and holding on to hope and hopium, or just I don't know. Maybe it's just too much for them, and they're kind of like mentally shutting down, becoming more and more withdrawn. But that's not exactly going to help their situation. So
Good Mother has a question for you. Hey, Billy. Good Mother says the men's good nature allowed feminists to take advantage. Your thought?
Generally so, yes. Yeah. Because a Prince Charming, white knighty type of guy isn't going to want to particularly say no to his overlord. So he's going to allow it. He's going to defend it. I mean, that's basically what happened with the Will Smith thing.
What do you think about that? Do you think he was right to go out and slap the dude?
I think
defend
he was
his wife's
well,
honor, I guess.
I look at it from a psychological point of view. So he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He had no choice in the matter. Really, he wasn't in control of his own body. The woman is pulling his strings, his heartstrings, as it were. So as he either do as she wants and demands, or she's going to punish him. Punish him probably by sleeping around or threaten a divorce or something like that, or take his kids away or something. So I don't think it's actually an uncommon. Take the celebrity stuff out of the picture. It's something a lot of guys would experience. You've got a woman at home who wants to be her honor defended, or she's nagging about something that's some misinjustice, And so the guy does a bit of white knighting and goes after the offender to get just a sense of justice for her. And it could happen in different ways. Maybe a slap, maybe a shot to someone's head, maybe whatever, a punch out. But same kind of thing. So this is basically the way I look at it, as you've got a narcissistic abusive relationship, and Will Smith has been conditioned to take on a codependency role.
Will Smith resigned from the Oscar committee, or the Oscar whatever. You think that's right? Think he should have done that?
I think he's in a state of sort of like damage control, and he doesn't really know what, until he has a sort of epiphany, wake up, realization moment of what he's dealing with. He's going to continue making mistakes, and this is only just the beginning of it. So it depends on how his partner feels about it. If he's bringing a lot of shame and embarrassment towards her, she can easily weaponize that and just say, like, Will, you're a loser. I'm appalled at your behavior. Either you need to do more, or I'm going to now find a new source of supply and ditch you. And in the process, I'm going to destroy you because I'll get enjoyment out of it. So he's on, as much as being a cuck as he has been or is, he's actually in a precarious situation.
Yes.
And it's a bit sad that people are ripping into him to some extent, because, I mean, imagine like many of us guys here or whoever has been in a similar situation where your wife is cheating, your wife is dominating a relationship and all this. You're basically losing your sanity. I mean, the way I see it, Will Smith has pretty much lost his sanity. He's got no self-esteem. He's got a lack of sense of self. He doesn't know who he is anymore. He's got no autonomy, and he's on a decline, you know. And if he's not careful, he might think enough is enough and self-delete or something like this, which is the prospect many guys consider when the world turns against them, when they believe they were doing everything right for the matriarchy and for their family, and they tell themselves all these sort of fairy tale, like, you know, I'm a family man, I'm trying to bring in money for the family, I want to have a good name for my family, and it all just backfires and turns against them. And then they think, well, what on earth was all of that for? And then they're left on their own, and they think, well, I don't know what is the meaning of life anymore. And so I think he's in a precarious situation, and he needs some help.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, you know, if he decides that his wife is some, you know, evil demon or whatever, he could kick her out, but then he's got to give up half his shit.
Well,
that's what this video was about in the first place. It doesn't matter what she does; she still gets cash and prizes. That's crazy.
In terms of his sanity and his health and well-being, it's a price worth paying. Get out of that situation. Like, would you rather stay with the devil just so that you might have access to your money? I mean, she's probably controlling all of his resources anyway, so you might as well pay half and get rid of her.
Yeah,
get it done. At least you'll have his freedom then.
There must be some attraction, though. I'm not sure I get it.
His attraction is that she holds his self-esteem. She tells him who he is. If I want you to be an actor, I'll tell you be an actor. If I want you to be a cuck, you're going to be a cuck. If I want you to be a martyr and take a bullet for me, you bet you're going to do that. If I want you to be my heel for my shoe, that's your job now.
You think she has that much power over Will Smith?
I think so.
No, we don't know Will Smith, right? Personally, but we've seen him in the movies. He seems like a tough guy, right? And you're saying that this little miniature human, this woman, has all this power over him. I'm explain. I'm not sure I see that.
Well, just because he's playing a tough guy in a movie doesn't necessarily mean that's his real character. And I don't know how long he's been married to her, but, you know, he's had kids with her or something like this. And
well, I mean, yeah, the kids are grown though, right? I think they have 3 kids, and they're pretty much out the house, right?
But in terms of like the art of manipulation, the art of slavery, it's not really that difficult. First of all, you just create a bit of doubt in someone's self-esteem. Then you create a sense of shame. so they feel bad for who they are. Then
Mhm.
you create some guilt, so that if they don't do what they're told, they're going to feel guilty by it. Now you've got someone who's basically codependent.
Hmm. Should we invite a contriver to come on? You have a moment, Billy?
Yeah, I got a bit of time. Contriver's a great guy.
Contriver, hello. Good morning
Good evening, sir.
or evening,
uh,
yes, depending
yeah,
on where you are. Yeah, good to see you.
time zones. Time zones differ every time.
Yes.
It means that the earth is flat. Anyways, uh, just wanted to lighten up the temperature in the room because everyone is coming hard only on Will Smith. But this, I mean, Patrice O'Neill, whom I revere so much, I consider him one of the greatest stand-up comedians, and one of the red-pilled comedians. Uh, he always said about something like, "All men need to be womanizers." When you would get enough of something, you would not value it that much, or in some sort of a traditional way that you have been conditioned to. So we have actually been conditioned by the society that you have to be a nice guy, you have to stand up for your woman, you have to do this, that, and the other. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
we hear
sure,
you just
sure.
fine there,
Okay.
contriver. Yeah.
So I think even Stardust many moons ago talked about it, that this sort of niceness actually is not really appealing to women. Those who say that, they are bloody liars. And something of that sort was already mentioned in the book of Esther Villar, The Manipulated Man, where she says that if a woman says to a man, "I love you," what she exactly means is that you are a good workhorse.
Yeah, I use you.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
So she is always in the driving seat, and he is thinking that he is in charge of everything, when she is just giggling and laughing by herself, thinking that, "See, I am the one, uh, making him dance to my tunes." And that is the sort of stuff that, even if, I mean, in law of evidence we call this as connivance. Now, if that is the case, then this whole concept of, now the traditionalists actually fear this concept. They are very much afraid of this concept not being unraveled in, or not being exposed in front of the masses, because they think that then every man would have his way with any woman and just toss them around. But generally, even TFM, in one of his debates with female MRA, Atamma, said that we are not pair bonding species. We are a tournament mating species. So I think that would be the biological instinct behind it, that you have to, mollycoddle a woman, so that, I mean, you just have to facilitate them, this sort of facilitation, even if it comes at your expense. You have to just, just keep giving in, keep giving in, keep giving in, until and unless you hit a brick wall or something. So that is my take on that. Regarding, as far as the larger issue is concerned, regarding in the English common law. In India, also, we have the good old British Westminster sort of democracy, the Parliament, as well as the good old Supreme Court system of the English common law. I think that as long as there are no laws to, charge women with adultery, it is by default a no fault divorce law. So in India there were laws that were actually applicable only on men, by the way, not on women, only on men, till the 2015 or 2017. They took it away in one scoop. Supreme Court had their way and they took it away. So now even marriages in India are by default no fault divorce. No fault divorce applies everywhere, and that is why I didn't want to, ruin the morning or evening of some of the people. But here is the thing: 77% of women cheat on their husbands in India out of boredom. And this is a heavyweight in India. Control C, control V.
Yeah, I like how you say out of boredom as well. It's not even just sort of like an emotional affair. It's just it's just for the boredom.
Yeah,
The
they want.
article is there. It is from actually Economic Times.
When the times are good, they get bored. Is that it, contriver?
Could be the case, but if you could show your audience as to what is happening in exotic countries like India, they would be much more red pilled than they were before.
I'd wonder, Contriver, would you have a stat on the level of narcissism that's growing? Because boredom is a characteristic of narcissism.
Yes,
When there's no appreciation for value and or no understanding of what value means, everything is instant gratification versus delayed. Then you can't have appreciation for value. Um, and without a sense of self, then you can't have any sort of self contentment. So things that we start looking to like an addictive kind of behavior where the level of dopamine goes up and up, and things that would normally be exciting end up becoming sort of meaningless, or they lose their thrill, and so we see an increase in boredom with it.
another article I'm quoting from 2008, foreignpolicy.com, and it shows that the gigolo services in India, all those Magic Mike XXLs or fading gigolos, kind of gigolos, mostly for women, have increased in India since 2008.
They have that stuff in India, really.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I just want you to share these two articles which I have shared in the private chat so that your audience might be willing to understand a thing or two. I mean, because under the insularity of the American bubble, I mean, all these exotic countries, all these Asiatic countries, going to Philippines, does that and the other, it works, but not outside. So I'm just saying every country is as destroyed as and as messed up as US, and perhaps even better or worse in some cases.
Yeah, I'm sharing the links. It says Indian women cheat due to boredom, 45% increase in same sex encounters among married people. Really? The Indian girls. Wow, that's crazy. I thought of them as, frankly, kind of sane. And you're saying no, they're just as crazy as we are.
This is Economic Times. I mean, this is a very highly revered newspaper in India.
Another element that could be played into all of this worldwide would be the sense of entitlement, which seems to be being cultivated more and more. You're entitled to this. You can claim these benefits. You can have this. You can have this kind of fairy tale of a lifestyle. Uh, you know, you are the
I mean,
future. All this
is
sort
it
of
really a
stuff.
fairy tale or they just want some hot dick? Let's be honest.
No, but let us face it, they are learning
Yes.
from the best, i.e., their American counterparts.
Mm.
America sneezes and the rest of the world catches a cold.
Yeah.
America exports cultural Marxism, LGBT rainbow flags flying in American embassy in Moscow to, goad Russians that they are homophobes or something. and America does each and everything that is responsible for exporting feminism, radiating outwards via osmosis and reaching to their Eastern counterparts, and then they try to do activism the
Yeah.
same way that the American women have done.
So
Be it your transatlantic cousins like the British, or be it your Indian strategic partners.
yeah, and it's packaged as a false promise or a dream. So this idea of utopia, like we're meant to be this fabulous evolved human species, and isn't the world wonderful with all its technologies? And you can have it too, if only you subscribe or hand over some cash or something like that, or vote us in. And so it's all a facade, all appearances, perception, and people get sold this dream. So they think they can be at the top of the food chain, but at the same time, when they try to align this with their actual sort of reality, they see they're not quite there. So you get this victimhood, master slash victimhood complex going on, where on the one hand they feel like they're entitled to the riches and bounties of life, but on the other hand they feel so oppressed and victimized, so that they're not in between it at all. And it's it's just I hate saying the word, but it's toxic. You know, it's a crap way of processing things. But then this is where they get this sort of schism and this black and white thinking, and
Sifu is in the
and a
chat,
spiral of mental disorder.
and Mitch from Manchester is in our chat. Hello, Sifu. What's up? Go
Sifu,
ahead. Sifu, go ahead.
Greetings, brother. Y'all
Yes,
going
sir.
hard in the paint here, baby. And I can certainly agree with what you're expressing, because I was right there when I was married. There I was, constantly having to give in, and compromise my own principles, just to keep the peace. And
yeah,
it never works. You always got to back up again the next time there's a disagreement. If you don't, there's going to be fireworks, and as they said back in the day, repercussions and consequences.
yeah. Uh, Guys, unfortunately, this is part of that codependency where you become conflict avoidant. So you will sacrifice your integrity in the hopes that you can maintain peace and harmony.
Exactly. And it never works.
No,
Take it from one who knows.
yeah. I mean, I've been there as well, man. I think a lot of guys have. Yeah. And this is the thing, like someone who is sort of blue pilled or being a simp or being a cuck or whatever it is, being the master of society, we slash they, whatever, hold on to this idea of this false promise, this utopia, this happiness. Um, and part of that dreaming requires the dreamer to be asleep. You can't dream if you're awake. So you have some denial kicking in where even if you know what's going on, even if a bit of reality is beginning to sink in, because you're so emotionally invested, and look how Will was behaving, he was emotionally invested. So the stakes are extremely high, and and you will suppress yourself, you will lock your true inner self-esteem up because you don't want that to interrupt this dream of, hey, if I just output more and more, one day I'm going to be rewarded and it will be worth it. So you hold on to this
There
idea.
you
You hold,
go. Yes.
you hold on to this idea that I'll endure any amount of punishment because at the end of the day I'm going to go to heaven. And it's like, nah, ain't going to happen. But say that to someone who's in the middle of that dream.
Oh, exactly, man. And that's the way I was. I mean, I was hardcore, excuse me, hardcore tradcon. I was a Baptist, almost a Catholic, and for a long time a hardcore Mormon. Thinking, if I'm fulfilling this tradcon role effectively enough, she's going to be happy. But being tradcon is definitely no guarantee. I mean, I lasted 32 years and I still got kicked to the curb.
And Seafood, may I ask, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but and as you try to bend over backwards to please the woman, and you find out, you realize that this isn't working, somewhere along the line, you're made to feel like, well, I'm not doing enough. It's my fault. I need to do better. I need to work
Oh,
harder.
exactly. A-
So there you
And
go.
and with the gaslighting that women are so good at, the whole time you're thinking it is your fault.
Yeah,
You're saying that all I got to do is dig deep and sacrifice a little more, and everything will be better.
that's right. Yep. And that reward at the end would be that much sweeter as well.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. So it's a crazy kind of psychotic sort of self-harming mental gymnastic monkey somersaults that
Another
people end up
thing
doing.
which, yeah, sorry to interject with the with the permission of fellow interlocutors. Hello, Mr. Sifu. First time talking to you. Very excited.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you, brother.
Thank you, sir. One another topic which I wanted to bring to the attention of the viewers is the draft or something which is related to the right to vote. I mean, during the Roman legions, when there was something called Rome 1.0, this is Rome 2.0, current America. But when there was Rome 1.0, in that you were admitted as a child and you grew up getting the cruel tutelage of the Roman legions. After that, you used to complete your tenure in military career as a soldier, as anything, or as a general, whatever. After that, you were given the right to vote in the Senate, the Roman Senate, as well as some land somewhere. And
Hmm.
if you wanted, the patriarchal state would even issue you a wife to have children. Even some gays like Caligula and others, all these Roman bisexual emperors used to have families just to continue the legacy of the royalty, whatever that was. So, this was the concept of the right to vote, on which women did not fight in the trenches in the First World War. That is for sure. They did not had naked bayonets in their hand. They had only mahogany tables, glasses clinking, and chandeliers, and
Oh,
they did it via activism.
and don't forget the white flower.
Oh yeah,
Remember,
sure.
women would run
Yes,
around
yes.
shaming
They you
men, pinning that
yes.
white flower on their jacket and saying, "You're a coward because you refuse to go fight and maybe die for me."
Oh, yeah, but at least at that point, they were thinking that they were getting a deal out of it or something. I mean, obviously, nobody wants to die. Certainly, I don't. So, this was the story and the origins behind the draft and the right to vote, which a man got, which the Americans, I think, knowingly or unknowingly took from the Roman legions. I mean, I don't know who were the people in charge over there at that point in history. And this is how, via activism, men thought, okay, now we should give them the right to vote. At least they would get off on our backs and, behave like a lady. Then, after the Second World War, when there was Hiroshima and Nagasaki, all destruction, cries, and everything, women thought that this would be everlasting peace. Now they began their activism for the second wave of feminism in the late 60s.
Hmm.
Actually, they started around 1965, I presume. I could be wrong.
No, no,
And then,
that is pretty accurate, brother. Please continue.
oh, yeah, sure. So that was the era of the doomed Bay of Pigs invasion as well as Cold War started. Now, that was the era when Vietnam and all these things came up, and all the intersectionality and the LGBTQ lobbies and everything started to come into place. All the fragmented pieces were starting to fall into place. And then came this whole device of free love, sexual revolution, bra burning generation, whatever. And then came the 90s. Till now, they could not be equal to a man. So you have to shoot the guy twice in the back to, slow him down so that women could get their consolation prize, as we call it in India, or for the American idioms, it would be called as a participation trophy. So that was the case for the third wave feminism, and now there would be more and more waves of feminism that would be coming around, but for powerful men who are in powerful positions and who have made fortune out of the you know American business industry, call it what you will, they are not going to just wean away, and they are hardcore patriarchal. And elsewhere as well, even in the erstwhile Soviet Union, the oligarchs are still oligarchs, and they are not going anywhere. So what this has done, and this was explained in another article written by a good friend of mine, Imran Khan, in 2010, is that he said something like feminism has tainted the normal interaction between a man and a woman forever. And that is
Sure
the
the hell
thing
has.
which these people do not realize, they cannot realize, as to what is the level of damage which they have done. They have destroyed a man's biological need to protect and provide for a woman and to, of course, have sex with her. That is going to
What?
be
Well, I wouldn't say they've destroyed it, but now they've weaponized our hormones and our responses, so they always turn out the winner in any situation.
what I'm trying to say is, if a man goes on a date right now, although it sounds ludicrous at this point, but if he goes, a woman is going to say, I mean, I make this much, how much you make? That is a turn off, because you are trying to have a life together. And, top 20% of guys on Tinder, having their flings with 80% of the rest of the women who are just their cheerleaders. And when men have anything in abundance, are they going to settle? Certainly not, because they know for a fact all these Chads and Tyrones of the world actually are pretty much red pilled. When I talk to some of them, they say, I would have a child via surrogacy, but I would not marry a woman. That is what
And
they
that
say.
and that brings up the mind the artificial womb. I can't wait for that to show up. I mean, I'm too old and poor to take advantage of it, but that is something that will break the power of the matriarchy forever. When men realize all they need to do is throw some cash at a lab, and they can have their own kid without a woman involved at all, it's game over, ladies.
Well, can I
I
draw
Yeah, please,
attention
please,
to
please, please
Gay
go ahead.
V left a comment earlier about something about the birth rate going down. I'm just going quickly through the comments to see if I can spot how he said it. Um, it seems like the birth rates are going down. Has anyone been seeing the adverts for sperm banks? Or is it just me?
No, they wouldn't want my sperm. So
But
Well, I do remember there's a case where a man donated sperm to a lesbian couple so they
yeah,
could
that
have
was
a
just
baby,
today or yesterday.
and
Yeah,
and then they
yeah.
turned around and sued him for child support and
right,
won.
right, exactly,
Yeah,
yeah. So they,
because the sperm bank refused to keep his identity confidential as they are supposed to.
yeah, but it's also showing a hidden mentality where it's like on the one hand women want sperm so they can have children, but on the other hand they want the right to have abortion so they can kill the baby. So it's kind of like make up your mind. So what is the whole point of having babies if you're just going to kill them? So it's not for the benefit of the child. Clearly, it's not for like continuing a legacy or anything. No, it's as a novelty, as a toy, as a trophy. It's for some other for bragging rights. Um,
I mean, what did you guys vote for in Ireland, for God's sake? Or the Irish did, anyway.
Oh, I
Oh,
remember
Abortions.
seeing that. And I remember seeing how the women were so overjoyed and elated. And
Oh,
it's
they
like,
were in the
really?
streets just
You're
protesting. Oh my
celebrating?
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're celebrating the fact that you can kill somebody and get away with it? Ew.
I mean, is birth control illegal in Ireland? No. Huh. Interesting. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Billy.
no, I made my point. I mean, it's like so from a guy's point of view, what would be the point of donating sperm besides getting child um, uh, child benefits allocated to him? But what's the point of having a child if later on that woman's going to abort it?
I think
And
in
remember, if a woman is pregnant, she has total control over the situation. She can kill that baby, or she can keep the baby and use it as a lever to extort money from you.
Yeah.
And in either
Or
situation, you have no power.
or if she decides to keep
how
the baby, she could turn it into like a child husband, because you're not in the picture.
I would
So
give you even better. I would give you even better. Or put his own son on puberty blockers, made him go undergo a transition surgery, and make him wear dresses after his surgery, so
Oh,
that he
damn.
would be scarred for life.
Oh, exactly. I mean, you look at Will and Jada's relationship. Look how messed up those kids are. It's real obvious who is running that house.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
It's Jada
definitely.
and that whack psychiatrist who's been whispering in her ear.
I mean, all
Oh,
their
she has a
kids are kind of
psychiatrist
fucked up,
friend?
right? So
Yeah.
they're all like transmissions and all kinds of crazy shit, right? Yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith actually, supported RuPaul and the Drag Race after, he, she, they, by whatever his or her gender is, on Twitter. After they won, the trans community won an award or something. I mean, this is from the last year. I'm saying so. Twitter timeline is from the last year. But this is the solution. I mean, if you are that much, you want to play father in your home, you are that much elated by having a little child. I mean, I would say better go for surrogacy. It is a ready-made available solution. Surrogacies actually happen in countries like Iran, India, Vietnam, Philippines, South Korea. I mean, you could go anywhere. Just it is just that your child would be looking like a biracial or hapa. That is but he would be your flesh and blood.
Oh, yeah,
No, no.
buddy. It makes me wish I was just a little bit younger. Because I sure the hell would do that. Remember, brothers, there's a lot more options on the table now. It's like Lionel MGTOW said, you can either go monk or get a doll or get a passport. But remember, there are so many simps overseas that they have pretty much wrecked the geomaxing strategy already.
Now, Sifu, you said if I were younger, I'd do. What would you do when you were
Uh,
younger?
I I would be living in the Philippines or Costa Rica or Argentina with a young hottie raising a bunch of twisted off brats in the jungle.
Okay. Yeah.
My American friend, there is a friend of mine. He is a white American. He actually married a nuclear scientist, Indian woman, gave her the green card. She got an American citizenship and passport. She aborted his child without any remorse. 3 months pregnant.
Wow.
I mean, imagine what that does to a man.
No shit. And remember, folks, if you are going to go overseas to get married, do not bring her back here. They will be contaminated by this nasty culture real quick, and the next thing you know, you're going to have an empty wallet and a broken heart.
Most of the people actually are still, trying to, have this infatuation with the American, Northern American hemisphere, is that, this is our land, this is our culture. But they need to delve deeper and, look into things as to, is this really your land? Is this really your culture anymore? And if it is not, and your survival is, and your self sovereignty is of top importance, prime importance, then you need to move the right way. I mean,
Hmm.
people need to. I'm not saying death to America just like the terrorists do, because I'm a neutral third party. So I could be a little bit more vocal in my approach. People could say it is negative, but I'm not actually. I'm Pollyannish. I actually want people, those who are like minded like us, going their own way. I want them to move to any other country like Russia. For example, I would tell you, when Russia Today RT network was on air, there was a documentary coming up that Russia has a thing called Fathers Commission for the grievance redressal of, if whether the mother is not allowing for child visitations, or whether the court has wrong brushed them the wrong way or something. I was so elated that Vladimir Putin gave an address about it. It is a quasi judicial authority in Russia, and they are all about increasing the birth rate. They promote families everywhere. They have banned, LGBT and all these cultural Marxist theories for little kids, underage kids. And there is no gay propaganda within Russia, not even in their movies. When The Beauty and the Beast was released over there, I remembered that Russia edited the part of the movie which had a gay element of it. So this is how Russia moves. This is how China moves. India doesn't. South Korea doesn't. So who is going to win in the end? The ones who would be having the numbers. And
Hmm.
as one French philosopher, Auguste Comte, once said, demography is destiny. And there is a demographic replacement happening right now in the North American hemisphere.
Oh,
I can say
exactly
that.
right, brother.
I mean, even as a brown guy, I can say that. I have no shame in saying that because I see that myself. And the
Oh, don't
ones who
worry, brother.
actually come, and the ones who actually come, to the North American hemisphere, Western hemisphere, they have to cater to the same bullshit policies, and they have to pally up to all these people, or as they
Hmm.
say, fall in line. Otherwise, you are considered as a diplomatic pariah.
And the next thing you know, you get canceled.
I protested against Justin Trudeau in the freedom convoys, and here I am sitting in India. I'll expunge on that.
Yeah, I mean, but you went there for like your parents got sick or something.
Oh yeah,
Guys,
sure.
I'm
They
gonna
are in
I'm gonna
the.
have to bounce, so I'll catch you guys a little while or something.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Bye.
All
Wonderful
right. Take
Bye,
it
talking to
easy,
Billy.
you.
brother.
Take care. Good to see you. Come back again. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Actually, my father fell from the staircase, had 22 stitches in his skull. So, I
Ouch.
mean, so yeah, that was that was something unfortunate. However, He is, touch wood, fine and doing fine right now. But both of my, and I'm the only child alive right now. So I just wanted to take care of them in the evening of their life. And that is why I am right now sitting in India. They have a house. We have a house. And that's it. Whatever money I made, I brought it all along. Uh, and I have nothing on me now. I'm a free bird.
Hmm. But I mean, isn't that the most important thing, though? Family, friends, relationships. I think so.
Oh well, it used to be,
Used to be.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, the culture doesn't place any value on that now.
In an ideal situation, yes, I would say. I mean, and my mother and father are very much patriarchal. Even my mother is, she is heavily patriarchal. She doesn't like all these effeminate styles, and she doesn't even know what is LGBT and stuff like that.
She's an old school, though, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, they have been together for the last 40 years. And
40 years. Holy
yes,
Jesus. Wow.
yes.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
My ex-wife's birthday is today, actually.
Oh,
57? Yeah. A long time ago.
cheers to the ones we
Yes.
loved
I'm cheering.
once.
Exactly. To all the girls I've loved before. Sifu, you know that song. Oh,
Oh
God.
yeah.
Well, it's
Well,
good.
that's old school right there.
That
But
is,
folks,
that's a
we got to
long time ago.
remember, this is a modern problem and it requires modern solutions.
Yeah.
So I'm not ashamed to be a monk, because my own freedom and sanity is more important than dealing with these nasty ass trifling hoes.
Okay, so a follow-up question to that, I want to ask both of the gentlemen, Mr. Sifu as well as Mr. Ginger Hamster. I'm in my early 30s right now. So as the age progresses, in my 40s and my 50s, would I would have the same potential or the same caliber which I have right now, or is it going to get a little bit rusty, not in terms of professional or academic capabilities, but in terms of life experience? Or would
No,
I get
man.
more rebellious and reckless from the inside, or I would get more inner peace?
It depends on what path you're taking. If you are working on improving yourself first, I mean, really, the basics of the red pill doesn't stop you from being in a relationship. All we try to do is wake men up so they can do that with their eyes open. And you got to remember that a man's value always increases. I mean, look at it. Who was the old guy that was married to what's her name, the former Playboy model? He was almost 80, and he still had viable sperm and produced a healthy baby. Yeah, so don't worry about what other people say about your value. You have value as a man. They just don't want to recognize or even tell you that you do have value. They want you weak, confused, and helpless. That's because it's so much easier to take advantage of you that way.
I guess I will, have a surrogate child or something. I'm not going to be in a relationship. That is a given. That is, I mean, I'm fully assured about it. I have
Oh hell yeah!
been,
See, brother, your head is in exactly the right place. You don't need to worry about nothing.
yeah, but I'm speaking from a life experience point of view. As the age progresses, do men get a little bit more inner peace or hullabaloo around them?
Well, it depends on your circumstances. If you're married, you're really not going to have inner peace because your opponent, yes, I said opponent rather than partner, will not allow it because they've got all these voices whispering in their ear about, you're stunning, brave, and independent. You can do whatever you want. And the man is nothing more than a pet wallet that you can tap, a heart that you can break, and a mind that you can abuse.
Sounds poetic, but truly terrifying. I have been in those situations and I don't want to repeat the same mistake.
Oh,
I
exactly.
have
Exactly, brother. That's why where I am right now. Uh,
I, I
excuse me.
think I think this another thing which I wanted to, get the opinion of Mr. Ginger Hamster as well as Mr. Sifu is
Yes.
that on this stigma of being a virgin. Could you enlighten
Mm.
me a little bit?
You mean as a man or a chick?
As a man.
Man? Yeah, I don't know. I suppose you're not performing to the expectations of the hoes. What do you think, Sifu?
Oh yeah, it's a case where you're not available, so they're gonna shame you and make you think you're inadequate just because you haven't made that commitment. Meanwhile, here we have virginity, which is the most precious gift a woman can give to a man. And these modern women have been indoctrinated to believe that it has no value at all.
Well, I think it's also a cope, though, isn't it? Because they're
Yes.
not virgins. So if you're a
Yes.
virgin, you must be some kind of a loser. It's like they're out
Exactly.
there,
Yes.
Getting dicked down by all kinds of chads and shit.
This
It's
the kindergarten story of grapes are sour.
go on. Yes, please.
I think that story where the fox wanted to, eat the grapes, but she could not because they were too high on the tree for her to catch and pounce upon. So I think that could be the case.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sour
It's
grapes.
I think there's a lot of how should we say? God, it's weird because women are weird, right? I mean, nothing against women, but they're different, right? They think a different way than we do.
Yes.
So they shame men for being virgins, but then bitch about men who are chads, right? Out there
Players.
laying down the pipeline,
It's
I don't
funny.
know.
They complain about Chad and Tyrone, but who are they with all the time?
They want Chad and Tyrone. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. Because
I
you know how women are. All they're concerned about is how they feel in the moment. Even planning 5 minutes ahead is beyond a lot of these women.
That's because they don't have to, though, Seafood. There's no reason
Exactly.
for that. Yeah.
Exactly. The culture has been weaponized so they can make all the mistakes they want,
Yep.
and we're not even allowed to call it a mistake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Primo Living
uh,
BC says their solipsism has them believe that because a guy who has a lot of girls is a Mr. Popular, well, it must be the same for them. Yeah, that's where the whole reflection thing, right? Well, I want these guys who had a lot of pussy, and they don't understand that men don't want a girl who has a lot of dick. How do you figure that one out, Sifu and Contriver?
Well,
attraction.
it's part of the feminist indoctrination. Women getting birth control was the start of all this. When there were less consequences for them being a whole bag, that's what immediately happened. And
I
now
mean,
it's reached the point where you can't even complain about a woman acting like that. You're called a misogynist.
that's right. You hate women, right? Yeah.
I
Any
mean,
criticism of females is misogynist. Go on. Sorry.
just to add more concrete to your argument, even once Patrice O'Neill said, apparently male honesty becomes misogyny for women. Keeping that aside,
Exactly.
I mean, one thing which I see common is hypergamy, and I do not despise it, by the way, but it is attraction is asymmetrical, and only 20% of the men. This was from Pacific Standard magazine, that even 8,000 years ago, only 20% of men reproduced, and those men actually had up to 8 partners, 8 better
Yep.
halves.
Yep.
So if that is the case, then women would always choose for a superior sperm,
Mm-hmm.
superior specimen, I would say. Ultimately it comes down to breeding eventually,
Mm-hmm.
and she has to also, you know cater to her motherly instincts, or whatever nurturing instinct she is trying to, play house for 20 years or something. Now,
That's part of the problem too. Women have been taught that nurturing instinct is wrong. They're just taught to fulfill their immediate need for pleasure, satisfaction, and uh, oh man,
I don't think they.
it's so hard to deal with this because what options do men have these days? They don't have any.
yes,
Yeah,
but
I don't think they object to the nurturing thing. They just want it when they want it.
and
And they
with
get to
whom they
37
want
years
it,
old and it's like, sorry, girl. You know?
and
Yeah,
with
Go on.
whom they want and with whom they want it. So it becomes an unfair deal. I mean, the fair deal which TFM always talks about is that you give me the years of your heydays and youth and beauty, and I would give you the protection and provision as well as for the offsprings which we reproduce. But it is not going to be the case anymore, because there,
Mm-hmm.
which I was earlier trying to, touch that subject, that this doubt, what is more dangerous than cancer and HIV virus, or even coronavirus, for a recent example, it is fear, which is in our minds, or doubt. Doubt also creates fear, or some sort of a stalemate, stagnancy in
Mm-hmm.
everything. Once there is fear or doubt in the mind of a man, that I cannot exercise my full authority over my own family, come may what, you
Mm-hmm.
have by default destroyed his biological instinct, because even if he reproduces, even if he fathers a child, he is still going to live under that fear or doubt that the CPS is going to come over me, 911 is going to come for me any
Mm-hmm.
day, anytime, and with a no knock warrant in this case.
Yep.
Now, if that is the case, then let us look at the larger picture. Are the birth rates going to skyrocket or plummet? Because it is a cascading thing, it has a
Yes. Oh,
cascading
yes.
effect.
Exactly.
This
And
de-
remember, folks, uh, what the speaker was talking about is happening now with red flag laws. Uh, there was a case that happened 2 or 3 years ago. Lady in Washington was having a divorce, and she called the police and did the typical "I feel threatened" act. They showed up at his house in a SWAT raid, took away his guns and his concealed carry permit, and I don't know how this turned out. They told him, "Oh, next year you can go to court and maybe you can get your stuff back." There's
Easy is in
even
the
been
chat,
cases where
guys.
people have been killed because of red flag laws.
Easy. Hello.
Hey, Hamstead. Hey, Sifu. How are you guys?
Hey, brother. Oh, doing fantastic.
Great to see you. I won't be long. I just wanted to point something out that Sifu talked about before. How the feminists have like flipped the script. My ex and I, she was, when we first got married, she was a virgin, but she fell into the feminist trap of, career and, push yourself, get educated, everything, make more money. And then I got hurt and I was a stay at home with my two daughters to save money on babysitting. And she resented me. She got everything that the feminists want. And she and I ended up growing apart. So even when they get what they want, they're not happy. And it becomes a complete and total catastrophe. Absolute catastrophe. But like I said, I won't stay long. But I just wanted to point that out that Sifu had a great point, and he and I have talked about that before in past streams. But I'll jump off, and it's good seeing you guys. Take care.
All right. Thank you, brother, for the shout out. I sure appreciate it.
Take care, guys. Later,
and see, folks, this is why it's so important for us to do what we're doing now. Because it's like the man said, we don't recruit anybody. We just watch them show up. And we try to deprogram and educate them.
That's right. Yep. Dante Sparta says, James, is the chat too soft? I don't know. What do you guys think? A little soft, are we?
I mean, not soft, but actually, we have, grown through this cumbersome procedure and process of, self introspection. So I think we are all like minded people over here, and that is a good thing. So we could also try to ponder upon different things than just male female human relation dynamics. But it is the biggest aspect of life on the planet, so eventually we have to talk about it.
That's
And
true.
yes,
But you got to remember, our haters are mad at us because the red pill is essentially a philosophy of selfishness. No one's
according
saying you can't. No one's saying you can't go back and get into a relationship after you wake up, from taking the red pill. But the current culture, they don't want you to wake up. They want you to be a compliant drone,
well, I
taking
mean,
all this abuse and not even being allowed to speak out about it.
I I literally think that even if they would try to this is the thing which I used to in 2017. I wrote a comment on Mr. Hammerhand's channel when he had a channel, the first or the second one, and this was the era when Mr. Ginger Hamster was mixing the songs like "Love Stings." Yeah, yeah. So I actually left a comment that
I mean, you remember that shit? Jesus Christ.
I come
You
from
tried to.
that era, sir. I come from
Yes.
that era. I
That
have
was
known you since that moons
1970,
ago.
79 or 80. Oh my God. Yeah. Love stinks.
Damn,
Yeah,
son.
yeah.
I have a hard time remembering what I did yesterday.
Damn. See,
Well, the song was amazing, and the way you mixed it, I could not know at that point in time that how you have to download a video. Otherwise, I would have done it. I mean, it was such a good song. So that was the era when I was just going my own way at that time, and I came across Hammerhand's channel, Mr. Hammerhand,
oh, wait a
and
minute. Excuse me. Good driver. You said you
yes,
were
sir.
37. 37. Love Stinks was 1979. What are you talking about? Are you lying to me? I'm just
No,
kidding.
I'm in my early 30s. I just remember that
Yes.
you posted that video on your own YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm
I
sorry.
know
Go
you
ahead.
from that era and even before that.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
around 2017 or something.
Yeah, about 2015. Yeah. Go ahead, please. Praise me. I like it.
No. I mean, I'm genuinely saying that song you mixed was amazing. I mean, these censor Susan and YT police should not have gotten to it. I mean, I would have genuinely downloaded that song just for me because it had your vocals as well. It stings in the end, which you said, and I just wish
Wait, what,
that there
Michael?
could be some platform where you could re-upload it for the viewers to show your extracurricular,
Yeah, wow.
talents,
So great.
your latent talents as well, hidden talents.
Yes, hidden. Michael Garak says, "Did you just block a guy for not being a Christian?" I don't block anyone on this
Yeah,
channel.
so
What
it's
are you
like,
talking
wait,
about?
what? Yeah, I looked at. I'm like, hamster don't do that, man. So y'all, I got to get moving.
All right, sir.
I hope all you brothers have a great day. And remember, no wife equals happy life.
All right, I'm going to take off too. I think Good Mother's coming on later, so if you guys want to show up, that'd be great. Yeah. Good Mother, the chick, Mandy. Oh, now that I'm reminding myself, I gotta do that. All right. Yes, I'm drunk. I'll see you guys later. Thank you, Contriver, and thank you, Sifu. Good to see you
My
all
pleasure,
the
sir.
time. Every time. Good to see you. You guys
you.
take care. All right. Good luck. God bless. Bye-bye.